My name's Rebecca, and I'm the Director of Engagement and Communities at Arts Council England. We've got an exciting day lined up, and I'm going to be introducing some of our speakers and try and keep us to time. You've all got a link to Mentimeter on the back of your lanyards, and it's via a QR code. So please do scan it and use that to input your thoughts, your questions, your ideas. It's linked to the events here in the Quays Theatre, but if you're burning to input something from the breakouts, you can still do that and input that at the end of the day. I have to tell you, there are no fire alarms planned for today, so if you do hear a fire alarm, Lowry staff will assist evacuating delegates safely to the designated evacuation points, which is outside the front of the building, on the plaza and to the side of the footbridge. We're joined today by a digital illustrator, Becca H, and we'll be sending the illustrations out to you post-conference with other conference resources. And we've also got a videographer recording some of the sessions here in the Quays, but we aren't recording the audience, so you don't need to worry. But if you are worried about asking a question publicly, you can use the Mentimeter. As I said, we've got a packed day. And we could really do with your help in everyone getting to their sessions quickly and on time. So we really thank you for your help in that. And we really appreciate all the speakers who've given up their time to support this event. We hope you have a really stimulating, fantastic day. We're really excited to hear from some of these speakers. And I'm now going to hand over to Salford City Mayor and Deputy Mayor of the Greater Manchester Combined Authority, Paul Dennet, for a proper Salford welcome. And then he'll be followed by Darren Henley from Arts Council England. Thank you. Paul.
Okay, good morning everyone. I'm absolutely delighted to welcome you all to Salford, but also importantly, the Lowry Theatre and Art Gallery. And it's absolutely fantastic that Arts Council for England has decided to host their Engaging Communities and Arts and Culture conference here in the city of Salford. As obviously the mayor of this city and also the deputy mayor for Greater Manchester, it's a real privilege and honour to welcome such an inspiring group of creative minds and community leaders, both to the city of Salford, but also to the city region of Greater Manchester. And obviously our work is to explore the joy of art and culture and how that can empower and ultimately benefit everyone, no matter their location, no matter their social class, and no matter their experiences. Something which I'm deeply passionate about here in the city of Salford, and this is my 9th year as the directly elected mayor, and culture, creativity and making sits very much at the heart of my manifesto commitment. However, let's talk a little bit about Salford. Salford's transformation from a bustling dockland to a vibrant creative and cultural hub, and home to institutions like the Lowry, RHS, the BBC, Media City, really does showcase and demonstrate the actual power of the arts and culture. Whilst it also highlights, in my opinion, the huge untapped creative potential that exists between the interface of creative industries, digital and tech. The journey with Salford began many, many years ago, where we committed land to realising what you see today in Salford Quays and Media City. But ultimately, it was the cultural institution that was the anchor institution that transformed this part of the city of Salford. And 25 years on, the Lowry celebrates their 25th anniversary. And I think we can all say the impact of this institution has been undeniable. In 2022-23, they reached 22,000 underserved people across our city of Salford, delivering 6,000 hours of engagement and generating £2.24 million in social value. This is a phenomenal achievement. And it's not surprising that communities are at the core of this cultural institution, which is totemic in representing and catalysing the city's transformation and revival. A beacon of hope, I think you could say, born from the city, but also working with the city. The motto of the city of Salford is Salus Populi Suprema Lex, which translated means that the welfare of the people is the highest law. And this is a principle that is reflected throughout all of our partnerships and our collaborations within the city. And it ultimately underpins our approach to culture here in the city. Our cultural strategy, developed through our culture and place partnership, prioritises the needs and the aspirations of residents and communities, with a commitment to ensuring that everyone, regardless of age, postcode or social class, is at the heart of everything we do. Lived experience, co-production runs through everything that Salford really is about. Of course, we all know that creative talent and creativity in and of itself within our communities is boundless and untapped in many respects. And last year we invested in 22 projects across the city with the theme of whose art, whose culture, showcasing a rich diversity of ideas and cultures. We also started a citywide conversation about culture, asking residents what they want and how they want to see things created, see things shared, and ultimately see things enjoyed. And one thing that really stands out from that consultation from, a little while ago now was the work from the residents in Broughton who erected a 3-metre by 1 metre neon yellow arc that simply said in black letters, "Include us." Include us. And this sentiment really does capture, I think, why all of us are here today, to recognise, to celebrate the wealth of experience, talent and the energy in our communities and neighbourhoods, and to learn together how we can ultimately democratise culture, nurture creativity in the everyday lives of individuals and our communities and neighbourhood. And here I'd like to also thank colleagues from the Arts Council of England and those obviously who are here today, who through projects like Creative People and Places have been absolutely instrumental in shaping this work, championing the support of local projects, bringing art and culture to the forefront of the neighbourhoods, ensuring that it isn't the preserve of the middle classes, and we are thinking about the ecology in terms of art, culture and creativity, making a real difference in people's lives. So in Salford, I think it's fair to say this conference and all of you today are in absolutely fantastic company. Our approach, our partnerships, our institutions are built upon an unwavering belief in the transformative power of art, culture and creativity. And many of my colleagues here today are really eager to learn from all of you, to share ideas, to learn from best practice, and ultimately to create something that's greater than the sum of the parts. So thank you so much to all of you for being here today. Thanks to the Arts Council for England for choosing Salford to host this really auspicious conference, and enjoy your time in Salford. Thank you very much, everyone.
Good morning, and thank you to the Mayor for the warmth of that welcome, and also to Julia and the team here at the Lowry for the warmth of their welcome as well. What a magnificent building it is. Thank you to all of you for joining us here in Salford today. It is, as I say, wonderful to be at the Lowry as part of the celebrations of this wonderful building's 25th birthday. Over the last quarter of a century, this exceptional, inspirational organisation has put Salford on the cultural map, not just here in the UK, but right around the globe. And it's taken Salford to the world, and it's brought the world to Salford. And from day one, the Lowry has stood for and delivered two things: the highest standards of artistic excellence and the broadest possible access to the widest possible audience. Access and excellence, not access versus excellence. And to be honest, I'd hoped that was an argument that had been put to bed many years ago. But it does seem to have reared its ugly head again recently, and some people appear to believe that excellence can only be delivered via certain art forms and exist in certain places. Just this weekend, one leading cultural figure described the arts world as a continuum that starts at the top and goes all the way down to the pleasant and the humdrum and the community at the bottom. At the bottom. That's not a continuum, it's a hierarchy. And it's a hierarchy that I utterly reject. Let's be absolutely clear. Excellence and access are not mutually exclusive. We must not allow our world to be characterised as a pointy triangle with excellence on high and access and community at its base. This framing is skewed, it's exclusive, and it risks killing the very thing its proponents love, which is great art. Access and excellence are not an either-or scenario. The fact is that one leads directly to the other. How can we know, as a country, that we're creating the most exciting and ambitious work we're capable of doing unless we're confident that we're nourished and nurturing the widest possible pool of curators? Excellence thrives among all art forms and among all creative professionals with the commitment, discipline and dedication to deepen their expertise and cultivate their creativity. It's not the preserve of a chosen few, and nor is it defined by a small group of gatekeepers. Excellence thrives indoors and outdoors, in concert halls, in museums, in theatres, in libraries, in arts centres, in found spaces, and, as we're going to hear today, in surprising places like pubs and clubs, laundrettes and barges. And the very best, most moving, most impactful work is created by artists, performers, writers, directors and curators who truly understand their audiences. They use their talents, creativity and flair, their knowledge and their expertise to connect with audiences and participants. And it's that connection that is the magic. That's the excellence, and that's when the magic happens. And this is the idea that sits at the heart of the Arts Council's Let's Create strategy. If we can connect, we can create happier lives. And being here with you today now at this National Engaging Communities Conference feels like the perfect place to share my belief in the value and the absolute essentialness of that connection, and to explore the ways in which we can work together to make it stronger. In his essay, England, Your England, George Orwell said that one of the fundamental liberties valued by the English was their ability to choose their own amusements instead of having them chosen for them from above. Their ability to choose their own amusements instead of having them chosen for them from above. And I think that's a belief that all of us here in this room share. And it's reflected more and more in the way that we work with many of you, in areas of work such as our Creative People and Places projects, and in our approach to investment and development in our 54 priority places, where public cultural investment has been low, but appetite and opportunity are abundant. This way of working, which has strengthened and deepened over recent years, represents a step change for the Arts Council and our relationship with the communities we're here to serve. It jettisons the old top-down model of cultural provision and moves us into a more generative space of listening and of close collaboration. A space in which we respect and understand that people are experts in their own lives. It's a way of working that we've learned by listening to many of you in this room. Over the past decade, our Creative People and Places projects have shown how co-creation with communities can increase engagement. Since 2013, these projects have put on nearly 14,000 events between them, with participants numbering nearly 18 million. It's clear that if people are free to choose their own culture instead of having it imposed from above, they will engage with it, they will delight in it, they will benefit from it, and they will come back for more. Now, audiences, participants, and visitors don't all want the same thing, or indeed need the same thing. So it's about choice. It's not just about how we work with people, it's also about the breadth of impact the work can have. We know what many of you taking part in this conference are achieving every day in inspiring people, in opening up opportunities, in regenerating places, and in increasing civic pride, as well as bringing joy to millions across the country. You're demonstrating the advantages that public investment can bring. Yes, for the joy of culture in and of itself, but also in terms of skills and job creation, health and social benefits, and in a whole host of other areas. And all of this happens best only when it is excellent. The breadth you're delivering is very, very important. We are aware, of course, of the changing economic state in the country. It's having an impact on all the different ways you're helping the government work with fulfilling its missions, and that's an important and central part of what you do. So missions particularly around growth and opportunity. You're working in service of our citizens, making their lives better and happier. And this is a strong basis for us to talk to the government about the value that you bring. The Arts Council will continue to advocate based on case studies, on data, and the stories you tell us about the ways in which artists, arts organisations, museums and libraries are together delivering for this country. We all know that we're in challenging times, and things might feel a bit uncertain for many people right now. But if I have one request of you today, it is this: to hold true to your mission, because you are making a tangible difference. And I'd like to ask you to join with me in a little bit of shape-shifting. Together, we can shape a brighter, richer, and more hopeful future. Together, we can completely reframe, we visualize our world. Let's never squeeze ourselves into a pointy, hierarchical triangle. Instead, let's create a space in a virtuous circle where everyone, everywhere, is always connected, always creating. Thank you for listening. Have a happy day.